A few things about Instagram live sales, because now that I've been doing it for quite some time and I have a pretty decent hang of it, a lot of people ask me, how do I do live sales, or how do I get people to buy from my live sales and things like that. And one of the things that I think is extremely important, and I think that will be extremely helpful to people, is having a narrative that fits into a broader spectrum. Sometimes we like to put ourselves in these very tight niche boxes. And once we kind of put ourselves into these niche places, it's very hard to connect to a broader spectrum of people. And if you have a small amount of people following you or engaging you, then let's just say that those people don't want to buy this week or next week or the following week. You have nobody that's going to purchase from you. So, my first piece of advice in doing a live sale is to broaden the spectrum, meaning that you need to reach a larger audience. And one of the ways you can do that is having a more universal story, a story that more people can connect to, and that means being relatable. A lot of people have a difficult time in front of the camera. What I suggest to people when they're first getting into doing Instagram videos, and when I have staff members here even who I'm trying to get them in front of the camera, it's usually in the beginning it's quite difficult because you're on the spot. But if you take your cell phone and you put it in front of yourself and you just start conversating with the phone and talking to the phone and interacting in a way that no one's going to see it, you'll eventually exercise that muscle and build that muscle a little bit more. And so that's really the first thing that I think is important. The second thing is that your product needs to be of another caliber. If you're selling the same thing that everyone's selling, then it's going to be very hard for you to sell that material. So right now Halloween is coming up, and everyone is selling Halloween carvings. So yeah, Halloween carvings are going to sell during Halloween, but if there's a million people selling them, then it's going to be very hard for someone to sell them successfully because there's so much of it on the market. Not only that, a large percentage of it is not ethically sourced, is not fair trade. It's coming from sweatshops and things like that. So staying away from sweatshop material, staying away from things that are not ethically sourced is also something that is very relevant in the business now. And so being able to actually provide some sort of substantial information that you are ethically sourcing, even if you wanted to say, hey, I'm buying my stuff from Chris at From the Mines, which I know a lot of people are hesitant to do that, but at some point we need to start revealing our sources to the people. Otherwise we're going to have a hard time gaining clientele, because people want to make sure that their material is clean, it's ethically sourced, it's fair trade. So you need to be in that boat. Not just that, it's not enough to just say it. It's not enough to just say, hey, I write in your Instagram page or on your website, fair trade, ethically sourced. That's not enough anymore. Maybe before it was enough, but now it's not. You need to the proof needs to be in the pudding. And getting there is extremely difficult, especially because most people want to save a dollar. They want to buy from China. They want to buy from Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. And I would suggest you follow my page, you watch my lives, watch how I do things, watch how I engage people. Because, thank God a million times, we usually have over 100 people in our live sales, and everything sells rapidly. I mean, rapid fire. And I think that one is keeping that pace, maintaining that pace, and holding that pace, not getting distracted and led in directions by people who want to ask you a lot of questions. That's another secret about Instagram Lives, is what you're going to wind up doing is you want to cater to everybody. You want to answer every question that comes up, but if you stop when someone asks a question, especially for me, I have 100 plus people on the live. If someone says, hey, are you showing this material today? If I answer that every single time, it's going to interrupt my flow. So I know it sounds counterproductive, but you need to just keep going in a continuous direction. Hey, do you have this material? I'm not doing that material right now. A lot of people will be, oh, I want that sale, so let me go find that material and get that material now. You can't interrupt your flow. You need to develop a flow and then stick with that flow. You need to be consistent with that flow. So that's just a basic fundamental idea around your Instagram. And then again, it can't just be about selling something either. You can't just sell stuff. If that's your whole gig, if you're like, I'm making an Instagram page because I want to sell crystals, the chances of you doing well are slim, because there's so many people who are just selling rocks there. You can't just post up a picture, hey, you want to buy this. There needs to be a more incentive for someone to buy from you, and that largely involves a backstory. And if your backstory is one that is interesting and unique, if you're willing to expose yourself, if you're willing to be vulnerable, then that's going to be another really great way for you to build your social media presence. Hope this helps.